He beats a guy, then breaks into his house, throws a T-shirt on his baby, and then beats him again. In his stip.
Yeah.
Support WrestleTalk!
It's time for AEW Full Gear 2023 predictions time. I am Luco in DAD. I'm joined by Oliver Davis, and welcome to the WrestleTalk Podcast channel predictions for AEW Full Gear 2023. Please do press the subscribe button if it's your first time here and you haven't done so already. Give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down below with your predictions for this here show that airs this Saturday.
Full Gear, I think Takeshita already did that. Damn it, Ibushi already did that on the Dynamite Go Home episode. Because he rode the bike down.
The bicycle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you catch the Botchamania reference in that as well? He shouted, "He got a bicycle."
I don't get that reference.
Well, I did, and it amused me. Tony Schiavone got a bit of a kick out of it as well.
That's good.
But anyway, we're going to go through the Full Gear 2023 cards and give our predictions for it. However, if you think you guys are idiots, I could do way better at you than predictions, then you absolutely can do, and you're free to do so by joining Wrestle League. It's a free service that we got, which has got over 500. I think more than that at this point.
Yeah, that's a massive undersell. Last time there was 8,000 competitors.
What? 8,000? It's over 8,000. 8,000 competitors competing against each other in predictions. So the way that it works is you just log into the website, you give your predictions for it, and then you compete against everybody else. You get it right, you get a point. You get your Joker pick, you get double points. And then at the end of the season, a winner is crowned, 3 winners are crowned, and they get cash money prizes in the form of gift vouchers.
Yeah, and it all counts, this Full Gear one, and then, of course, Survivor Series next weekend, and then there's nothing.
Yeah.
For the rest of the year. Oh, no, wait, there's
World's End.
There's World's End.
Yeah.
I forget about that.
Yeah, there's World's End, and then it's the Royal Rumble. And,
Yeah.
and Hard to Kill.
And a bit of Wrestle Kingdom there. That's 2 nights.
Final Battle, ROH's show as well. So yeah, there are still pay-per-views to come. But let's get into the card itself. And we'll start with the pre-show match for the ROH World Tag Team Championships. It's MJF versus The Guns, Austin and Colton. MJF with a mystery partner to be found.
MJF with TBA. I don't know him.
I think... he did wrestle under a mask in ECW, and it's just another one of those nostalgia names that Tony Khan likes to bring back.
It's going to be Samoa Joe, right?
Yeah, during Joe's match on Dynamite, they brought up in the lower third the ROH tag title match. And I'm like, cool, so it's Joe. Yeah. It's probably
But
Joe
he is in that storyline, and AEW have done quite well providing credibility to their red herrings, so that you could write that off as that. I thought the Dynamite Go Home final angle, where MJF is getting beaten up by the Gangbang Gang, I thought Samoa Joe might run down and make the save.
Me too.
I thought, what a cool, badass way to finish, but they just cut backstage to Joe watching on, like...
He's proving a point that he's not waiting for MJ. He's basically just waiting for MJF to find out for himself that he does need to come and ask for his help, rather than showing him, you need my help.
That's a better story. I just wanted the high spot.
You wanted
I
the
wanted
high spot.
the rundown. But that might happen on Collision.
Yeah. I've also enjoyed what they've been doing with the Guns in their squash matches, which they've been winning squash matches very quickly, and then the Guns on the Go Home show said it as in so many words. Look how quickly we beat people 2-on-2. Imagine what's going to happen when it's 2-on-1. It's a nice little setup, that.
Yeah, it's really simple, effective stuff. And that's always what MJF stories seem to be.
Yeah.
Very simple, but very effective things. A kangaroo kick. A double clothesline. But in regards as to who wins this, I would say this is one of the more unpredictable matches on the card.
You think? You don't think he's going to hold on to the tag belts till Adam Cole gets back?
That's a long time, though, isn't it? Cole's out for a while.
Depends on how quickly the devil gets revealed, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you think he's going to be the devil?
There's every chance.
I think, just based on Cole's injury, if it's legit, which it is, I don't think he's the devil.
Okay.
It's CM Punk.
It's good, of course.
So I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to go for the Guns. I'm going to go for the Guns because Joe turns on Max. I haven't quite figured that part out, but I like the idea of the Guns winning the belts, and that sows seeds of doubt with, oh my God, if Jay White wins in the main event, the Gangbang Gang could have all the gold.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
granted, not all the AEW gold.
No, you got that. You'd have actual AEW gold and some, some other belts.
Those props.
Yeah, a little bit of silverware. Mm-hmm. I've gone for MJF and partner in the Wrestle League predictions. Numero uno, surprise partners. But number 2, I'm looking at because I do think it's going to be Samoa Joe, where you're either pinning your world champion ahead of his world title match against Jay White, or you're pinning a challenger for the world title in Samoa Joe. Mm-hmm. And I don't think either of those options are going to happen. Therefore, I'm going with MJF and Joe.
Yeah. But I know what you mean. I think pinning Max in this scenario is okay because I think they can't do any more to make Jay White credible, and I still think that's one of the more predictable things. Mm-hmm. So that would just be a little bit more doubt.
Yeah. For the AEW Women's World Championship, it is Hikaru Shida versus Timeless Toni Storm.
Oh, that's Toni Storm.
Yeah, I think Toni Storm.
Yeah, it's Toni Storm. We can move on.
Toni Storm's winning that one. In 6-man trios tag. I mean, do you want to?
We probably should, because then we'll do the same thing that we accuse AEW of. Not giving the women any time. Yeah, I think... do you think Mariah May gets involved at all? Maria May?
No, it's Mariah May. Sorry, I tried to gaslight you there, and I accidentally so.
Because you corrected me so much last week, I was like, and I really focused on it today.
It's because I was about to say it's like Maria Carey. I was like, that's the way to remember this. And then I stopped myself. I was like, no, her name is Mariah Carey. You're right, Mariah May.
So yeah, how do you think Mariah plays into this?
I think we talked about this on the Dynamite show yesterday, but I think they're doing, the big theory at the moment is they're doing All About Eve with Toni and Mariah. And so within that, you do sort of need to have Toni on top and Mariah being the understudy for that. So I think the belt makes most sense to go on to Toni Storm. Sure, that means Hikaru Shida's got another pointless championship run under her belt, but, I don't think AEW cares.
That's unfortunately what her role is.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I just felt like it's in California. It's the home of Hollywood. Mm-hmm. It makes the most sense at this point. Also, she's an over character. Like, she is, by leaps and bounds, slightly above Julia Hart, I would argue, in terms of over female presences on this show. So I'm going with Toni Storm. In 6-man trios action, it is Sting, Darby Allin and Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne, who, unfortunately, according to Collision, are not called the Christian Coalition, which is what they should be called, and are called the Patriarchy.
Yeah.
Which, I think is also...
Who doesn't love the Patriarchy?
Well, I said this to Dan late, and I was like, it gives you an easy chance because it's F the Patriarchy. Like, that's an easy chant you can get over at live shows.
Yeah. It's such a fun name.
Yeah.
Especially because I've rewatched Barbie recently, and there's so many great patriarchy jokes.
I'm going with Sting and Co.
It could go either way, because you want to spin the... I think, Sting's got his own thing going on, and that is the retirement tour. He can do whatever he wants in this. He can dive off a big thing. Darby can dive off a big thing too. But it doesn't matter if he wins, as long as he doesn't get pinned. Whereas Christian versus Edge, Copeland, is what you want to spin off from this.
Yeah.
So you should look at it and, what's the most effective way to create that singles feud? And it should be one of the Patriarchy pinning Copeland.
Yeah.
Probably Christian.
Even Cage. Yeah, I was going to say, I'd have Cage pin him, yeah. The alternative is, let me pitch this to you. Flair turns because the retirement match is Sting and Flair.
Well, what is more fitting to a Sting run than having Ric Flair turn on him?
Ric Flair overshadow it.
Yeah. And how would Ric Flair announce that?
Stinger! I'm still going with Sting and Co. Because I think you can set up a Darby Christian TNT title match. I still like the idea of doing a Sting Christian TNT title match, to almost round off Sting's career of being like, I've been the face of TNT for 30 years.
Yeah.
So to end my career holding aloft that belt would mean the world to me.
And to get there, you would pin a Nick Wayne here. Sting would pin Nick Wayne.
Yeah.
I like that as well.
Yeah, or pin Christian. I don't think that there's anything wrong in that as well. Like particularly if it's Nick and Luchasaurus that make a mistake and that leads to Christian getting pinned. Because Copeland's whole deal is they're eventually going to turn on you. So if you have them make a genuine mistake, Christian scolds them afterwards and they then hold that resentment to lead towards that eventual turn.
You have won me over.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to go for Sting, Darby, and Copeland. What are they called if they're not the patriarchy?
Sting Dudes.
Sting Dudes.
Up next for the AEW International Championship, it is Orange Cassidy defending against Jon Moxley.
It's Moxley. We can move on.
It's Cassidy.
Do you think it's Cassidy? Why?
Because they won on Dynamite. The Combat Club, that is.
He no-sold the orange punch.
Yeah. And I think Cassidy is going to really slay the demon.
But you've got to remember, there was a plan that Toni had. And then that plan, due to injury, was scuppered. So what does Toni do in these situations?
Jon Moxley squashes CM Punk.
He reverts to the plan.
No, Moxley squashed CM Punk, and then they revert to the plan. So Cassidy beats him here, then Moxley beats him in the third match. It's Rocky 3.
So they've got one win apiece.
They go into the rubber match.
That's compelling. God damn, you're bringing some good arguments to
Thanks,
this.
bud.
Yeah, because if you're going to do a third match, that would be the way to do it. But it's for the title. But you could add a stip on. There's no stip on this.
No, it's just
so
a
the
straight
third
one-on-one.
one could be the orange punch
Yeah.
match.
Bring
where
that
you've got
back.
the pools of.
Yeah.
It was the pandemic.
The Mimosa match.
Yeah, we went
The
crazy.
Mimosa Mayhem.
Okay, I'm gonna go Cassidy too.
Okay.
Oh god damn.
Up next, in a Texas death match, my most anticipated match of the night, again, it's Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland.
My most anticipated match too. Swerve won the first one.
Sure did.
I mean, if a guy breaks into your house and cuts a promo on your baby, baby, you should probably win the next match.
If I can lay out another statoid about this, Hangman Page is undefeated in Texas death matches in AEW, which is why I think Swerve wins here.
Oh, Swerve wins
I think
twice.
Swerve beats him twice.
He beats a guy, then breaks into his house, throws a t-shirt on his baby, and then beats him again.
Beats him again.
In his stip.
Yeah.
That is a brutal way to book a baby face.
I think in the end here, our end goal is to get Swerve over. And you can get Swerve over in defeat. I'm not saying that you can't. But I think if you got so much momentum off the back of Swerve at Wrestle Dream, Hangman just beating him here, I don't know if that cuts off any of that momentum. It's all about the follow-up. My worry there, though, is that if that's just going to build to a third match, we are falling into the WWE trope here when you do monthly pay-per-views of, well, that feud is 3 matches and it's 3 consecutive pay-per-views.
It becomes very predictable by that point.
Which is what I just talked about with Cassidy and Mox.
If they're going monthly pay-per-views, maybe they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll just do the same amount of feuds over the year, but each one will get 3 pay-per-views now.
There you go.
I don't know.
I mean, you're right though. Like Hanger should win because he is the conquering babyface going into this. My only other thing that I think could lead to Swerve to Hangman winning is obviously Hangman is Hangman and he's going to win, against any odds anyway. But there's a miscommunication with Nana and Swerve because that was sort of set up on Dynamite. This whole idea of Nana is using you and using that as potential that's a plot point there that we can use in the match itself.
Okay, I'm going to stick with my original one. I'm not going to be persuaded by your evil ways this time. I'm going to go Hanger.
Cool.
Yeah. And then probably to set up a rubber match.
Yeah. Up next in a tag team match, it's the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho.
Say their proper name.
The Golden Jets. Kenny and the Jets was right there.
Golden and the Jets. Doesn't work as much.
The gimmick of this is that if the Golden Jets win, they get the Young Bucks tag title shot. And if the Young Bucks win, then the Golden Jets can never tag again. The Golden Jets have got real strong Y2AJ vibes on them.
Oh, do you think?
Which is why I think that they are going to win here, have their world tag title match. Jericho turns on Kenny, and that leads to Jericho versus Kenny.
Oh God. Really?
Look, I said this on the Dynamite show last week. I am Young Bucks fan number 1 when we're going into this show. I'll have a foam finger with the Young Bucks written on it, pointing in the air, head to toe in Young Bucks merch, cheering them on to win. Because I want Jericho and Omega done. I am very over them being friends.
But he's got a suit. Do you think Chris Jericho still wears his Reservoir Dogs suit?
It depends on if they're sponsored by the Sega game again.
Well, so you're going with the Golden Jets winning still, though.
I'm going with the Golden Jets because I think that furthers the resentment with the Young Bucks. It furthers their heel turn.
Kenny's always beaten the Bucks with any partner.
And I love that detail.
Yeah, I'm going to go Golden Jets too. Yeah. But I am not enthused by any version of the Kenny-Chris storyline.
No. In a 3-way match for the AEW TBS Championship, it's Chris Statlander defending against Julia Hart and Sky Blue.
Made it a 3-way.
Yeah, they announced on Collision it was going to be a 3-way with the winners of the Willow Nightingale Julia match and the Sky Blue Red Velvet match.
And that makes sense. They've all been embroiled in that overlapping story together. I don't think... Julia, I've been so impressed with Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I don't think the time is right to put the title on them. So I'm going to go with Statlander retaining.
I'm also going with Statlander retaining because I think the other two will cancel each other out.
Mist at the same time.
Oh, I like that.
Creating a different coloured mist between them.
Creates a third wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm also quite intrigued by the visual of this match because Statlander's so much taller than the other two.
Sky Blue and Julia Hart. Muppet Man.
That's how they're going to go.
Julia Hart's already got the hat. Just get a long trench coat on each other's shoulders.
Pair of Converse underneath. Yeah, I'm going with Statlander to retain here. I see two worldviews. Statlander retains, Julia Hart wins. Because I thought Julia Hart might win at Wrestle Dream because she was so over at that point. Then it turned out she was going on a holiday for a month, so probably don't do that. But she's back now. She's not as over as she was before Wrestle Dream, though. So I think keeping on Statlander, and she's only 22. You've got time before you pull the trigger on Julia Hart. For the AEW World Tag Team Championships, it's a 4-way between Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus La Facción Ingobernable of Rish and Dralistico, that's close enough, versus FTR versus the Kings of the Black Throne, representing the House of Black.
This could be one of the most exciting matches of the night. I don't know who wins it, though. I'm going to wait till you make your pick, and then I'll work out mine.
Okay, I mean, I've said my piece about this on the Collision review. The thing that annoys me about this match is tied into my annoyances with the Young Bucks and Jericho match. The Young Bucks are putting up their number one contendership to the tag titles on the line. And then we have a tag match later on for the tag titles with 3 other teams competing for the tag titles.
Yeah, they won these at All In, didn't they?
They won it at it was Young Bucks and FTR at All In.
At All In.
No, but they won at Wrestle Dream. They won the 4-way to get the number one contendership for Full Gear, no less.
Yeah. So it just feels. Yeah.
Well, my argument is, and that's what I said to Dan on Collision. I feel that they had this idea of Golden Jets have to split up if they lose. Okay, well, why would Kenny and Jericho accept that? Oh, okay. What if the Young Bucks put their tag title shot on the line? All right, okay, that works. Cool, we can ignore that. All right, well, let's book this other 4-way tag match we've got over here.
Or it's more like, I get the hate for Jericho and Omega, but maybe it was more like, okay, well, we're starting to get a grip on the tag division. Sure, Starks and Big Bill are the champions, but we're building up these other champions. But the Elite drama. There hasn't been a drama Elite storyline for about a year. So everything should play second fiddle to that. So I guess what you're asking is who are the best opponents for Kenny and Chris out of all these teams?
And I'm going with the champs retaining. Starks and Bill retaining the belts.
that would fit with Jericho's sort of underlying mission, which is to raise talent, I feel. Ricky Starks could benefit hugely from that feud. Oh, man, I love Roosh.
Yep.
I love Roosh so much.
I wonder if Roosh is going to be part of the G1, AEW's G1.
The classic Continental.
The Continental Classic. The Continental Breakfast Classic.
Yeah. God, yeah. It feels like this is the number one contender match. Sure, Starks and build to retain. I'm not enthused, to be honest.
No, I'm not either. And lastly, for the AEW World Championship, it is MJF versus Jay White.
MJF.
Yes, MJF.
Yeah. And I was trying to think of a way to phrase this for my review that I did at Dynamite. It feels like Jay White is the Ultron.
Okay.
He is.
Oh, that's good.
Like in MJF's overarching story, he needs an opponent, a nemesis, who's really cool, but you know he's never going to beat the Avengers. And that's what Jay White is for MJF, but it's a necessary stepping stone for the larger, bigger evil, which is presumably going to be the devil.
Mm-hmm. I like that a lot. And even then, there's a couple of other beasts in there. You can almost argue that Samoa Joe is the... what's your man's name in Civil War? Baron Zemo.
Baron Corbin.
He's the Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
That's what we're all saying about Samoa Joe. He's the Baron Corbin of AEW. And who is Wardlow then in our MCU?
Well, I think that spins off into solo movies, doesn't it? So Wardlow is Winter Soldier.
Yeah, sure, why not?
In what's the second Captain America movie?
The Winter Soldier.
Yes.
I'm also going with MJF to retain here. That is nothing against Jay White. I just don't think it is Jay White's time in AEW to win that belt. MJF is champ till the end of the year. That plays into what we talked about at the start of the year, which is the bidding war of 2024 story, which they haven't done since he turned babyface, because that's harder for a babyface dude to be like, I love this company, but I might go. So I'm curious what that actually means into next year.
Yeah.
I wonder if he drops the title belt at World's End. You know, his last night with the company. I don't know who he's facing, whether that is Joe or Wardlow, or maybe a triple threat between the two of them. So I think MJF is retaining here, and you pay off the devil storyline at World's End. You reveal who the devil is at World's End.
But I think there will be an angle to further the devil storyline in this.
Agreed, yeah. And I wonder if you might just be like the goons attacking Bullet Club Gold at ringside, because the story of this has been MJF has no friends. He has no backup.
Yes.
And the Jay White, he's not only facing Jay White, he's facing all of Bullet Club Gold at the same time. So the Goon Squad, the Devil's Goon Squad come down. They take out Juice and the Guns. So it is just MJF and Jay White. He did have friends, which furthers Roddy's thing of it's MJF. Jay believes it's MJF.
Oh my God, maybe I do want it to be Adam Cole now. Because, excuse me, Adam Cole, maybe he loves MJF so much, and him getting injured has sort of meant, but I need to protect you. I need to become this devil character.
No more friends.
Yeah.
Taking out the Acclaimed.
That doesn't work. Yeah.
Why not?
Well, like Adam Cole is protecting Max from everyone else, but then why would he beat up the Acclaimed, who are also trying to help Max? I guess he could work in some jealousy there.
It's because you don't get any more friends.
Yeah.
We're friends.
So, yeah. So Cole is a very it's MJF's first real friendship, and it goes awfully for him.
Which is what we kind of said about MJF since the start of this, is that all of MJF's childhood trauma is born from people he thought were his friends turning their backs on him.
Which is all just the Trojan horse to make Roderick Strong the biggest babyface in AEW.
Yeah.
He's the one who comes to MJF's save.
Unless, of course, he's with Cole.
No.
I don't think he is either. But, you know, we talked about that on the Dynamite show. We're in a slightly weird limit. We're recording this before Dynamite, for our Dynamite review, but people will have heard us give our theories and stuff from Dynamite before this.
Do we want to make a prediction on who the new person is, the new signing?
Yeah. I talked about this on the Dynamite show yesterday, but I'm going with Monet.
Mm-hmm.
I think Monet makes the most sense.
Monet or Ospreay?
Well, Ospreay's contract until February.
But if it's New Japan, it's like, if there's an agreement there, I think Monet is the easiest.
Yeah,
bet.
she is the one that is sort of not in contract, like actually tied up in contracts, because I think Julia's tied up into contracts. Obviously, all of the released people are contracted up until mid-December. Yeah. And Ospreay's February. So I think it's Monet.
Okay, let's go with Monet.
But that's going to do it for this episode. Please do click the link in the video description down below to join Wrestle League and join us in our predictions. What do you make of our predictions? Do you think we're wrong? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this show. We're going to have a full review of Full Gear this coming Sunday. It's yourself and Pete Quinnell.
Yes.
Reviewing the show. Hey, how are you excited for the show?
Not in the way I have been for other pay-per-views.
Yeah. If you were to give it a percentage, what is your percentage excitement levels?
What's the most So 100% is the most excited I've ever been for a pay-per-view. I mean, there's been a few WWE shows this year where I've been just gagging to watch.
Well, I would say really on your scale, 100% is NXT TakeOver London. It was your best day ever.
Yeah, but it was disappointing. Nothing could reach those lofty heights. Hustle next Tuesday.
Yeah.
That is my most anticipated show, so that's 100%.
I'm not trying to disparage Hustle here, but not Riot Cabaret with the return of Blobby on December 19th.
102%.
That's 102.
So this one, yeah, it's I am definitely interested, but it is an average level of interest. So a 3 out of 5 interest.
So you're about 70%.
Well, 3 out of 5 to me means 50 to 60%.
Oh.
But that sounds way low, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I'm just doing that's fractions turned into percentages.
I'm at about an 82. I feel I'm really excited for the show. I think I think all of the action's going to be really great. I'm excited to find out who the new signing is, and the thing that interests me the most is actually the next chapter of the MJF story. Like that's what I want to see from this show.
The soap opera.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what the next chapter is. I'm really invested in MJF stuff. But that is going to do it for this show. Leave a comment down below. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you've made it this far and you haven't already. And we will see you this Sunday for the Full Gear review. I've been Luke Owen, DAD. That has been Ollie Davis. Jam that jam.